Good morning. Depression can develop so gradually that you will not know. And by the time you realize that you are depressed, it consumes you. This morning, we will be having a young man who has gone through depression and out of it. He has taken a step further in writing a book. He will be in our studios to tell us his story. Do you know the relationship between Rotary Club and the Inner Wheel Club? They have a lot in common. During an event here in the FCT where the Inner Wheel Club was empowering women, we were privileged to meet the brand new president of the Inner Wheel Club of Garki, and she agreed to be our guest, and she will be keeping her promise on today's episode of the program. Good morning once again. My name is Tiako Randiabo, and I'm on this shift with
Aisha Kyari Sharif, it's a wonderful morning here in the FCT, and I hope you had a wonderful night. Well, the program is Good Morning Abuja, and we are consistent on Good Morning Abuja just to make you happy for you to start your day. Just joining us, the program is still Good Morning Abuja on NTA Channel 5. Well, today we're going to talk about depression. Globally, more than 264 people of all ages suffer from depression. Today, we have a relationship expert, Aaron Daniels. You're welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much.
good morning.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning once again.
Thank you. Good morning.
So, we're dealing with depression.
Yeah.
So, why should we believe you when you talk about depression? Have you gone through depression?
Yes, obviously. I've gone through my share of depression. It started from when I was leaving secondary school.
Okay.
I had issues with the O level. I couldn't make my maths. So I had to write over and over, combining everything together. I wrote work and I could combine in combination 7 times.
Oh.
I know what that means. It's a depressive moment where you have to stay home for almost 3 years and then keep writing internal externals, and that was the first share of depression I had. And the second share of depression I had was when I lost my dad in 2014. He had terrible illness. We spent a lot of money in Abuja here and prayed and did everything, and he still died. And after that experience, I also lost my elder brother, who was involved in Jabi building collapse 2018, when the Jabi building collapsed. That news, he was also involved. So it was a very depressive moment for me and the family.
Do you relate depression to loss?
It could also be related to it.
Okay.
Loss of a loved one can cause depression.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people think depression is also a mental disorder. How so?
Okay. Mental disorder could come as a result of, let's say, hard drugs.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's take the young men that engage in hard drugs. You could take some hard drugs to a point that it affects you mentally, and then it degenerates into a depression. You know.
Okay, now let's talk about. We've heard your story.
Yeah.
You understand? There are multitude stories, and how did you come out of it? Because, like she said, the number of people being depressed or going through depression all over the world is alarming,
Yeah,
and in most cases, it ends up. They end up losing their lives.
True.
And so, how did you come out of yours?
True. Okay. Very, very good question, because a lot of people are really wallowing in depression. So basically, one of the things that helped me was uh, one, prayers.
Okay.
Yes, you go to God in prayers. Talk to God about it. For me, I feel prayer is like easing yourself.
Okay.
When you're pressed, you go into the restroom and just ease yourself. So most times, when I feel depressed, I know sometimes it's difficult for you to pray, because when you feel for God has appointed you, and you are sometimes you get angry with God and then angry with, but when you go to God in prayers and you stay there, you could actually come out of it. So I engage in prayers, which I got strengthened, and then studying the Word of God for me, which was also really, really encouraging. And then talking to somebody about it, talking to somebody who I know can be able to encourage me, because sometimes depression thrives in silence,
Yeah.
and in isolation. So you have to speak out. You have to talk to somebody that can help you. I mean, somebody that can really, really help you,
Okay.
not somebody that can add to the depression.
Okay, when we were introducing you, we introduced you as a relationship coach. And so at what point did you feel that you should take up depression matters to help other people?
Okay, it happened in 2019. A very dear friend of mine, very dear friend of mine, she was attacked by the spirit of depression, and she couldn't just do anything. She couldn't take her bath for days. She couldn't eat. She was having terrible thoughts. Her siblings were calling me, and all of that. At the point, it was terrible, because for days she was not, and then after we got involved in prayers and everything, she got delivered from that spirit. And it's so much down on me that a lot of people are going through this stuff. And then, I don't know whether you remember 2018, a lot of people were committing suicide. There were a lot of suicidal cases all over in 2019, a lot of suicidal cases everywhere, both successful and unsuccessful people committing suicide. So when that happened to my very dear friend, I felt we need to help a lot of young people and a lot of people out there who are going through the stuff. So that really inspired me to write on depression. I did a lot of research again and find common grounds on what is affecting many people, and then
So you're still talking about depression,
yeah.
and you see someone going through depression, and he doesn't know that he's going through it. So what are the signs? And then if you see it, how do you help him?
Okay. It's a very good question, because a lot of people are going through depression, but they don't want to accept actually going through
So
depression.
it's all about the acceptance.
Yes, for some persons, they feel the word depression is
It's too big.
too big and negative for them to actually accept they're going through depression. For example, when someone has a prolonged sadness, yes, when it's natural to be sad when things are not really going well, but when the sadness has escalated, for with beyond the normal time, it's a sign. It's a sign of, okay, this person is already getting into depression. Number two, when things that used to interest you, that gets you excited, no longer gets you excited anymore, and you feel moody and gloomy for a long period of time, depression has set in. And then when someone is, it gets involved in too much of worry, you worry too much, it's also a signal that the person is also getting depressed. And then issues of isolations, all of a sudden the person just start isolating himself to dark, quiet places, not for meditation or for research, but to cry and all of those stuff. Then you know that okay, this person is already wallowing in depression. And then suicidal thoughts,
Yeah.
negative thoughts. When you discover that someone has started speaking negative all of a sudden and is consistent with it, thoughts like there's nothing in this life, I'm not good enough, everything is bad, everything is crashing on me, and
But is anxiety
anxiety.
attacks, panic attacks, same as depression?
It causes depression.
Okay.
It has caused depression, and also it can also be a symptom of depression. So it's two ways.
Okay, so now our time is almost up.
Okay.
So what's the way out?
Okay, the one of the way out is when you're going through depression, like I said, in my own case, I prayed about it. So you pray about it. Number two, meet someone who is able to encourage you to talk to you. Don't stay in isolation or in silence. Meet someone who is able to talk to you and encourage you out of it. Number three, I think comedies are also very good antidepressants. Get yourself involved in listening to comedies, watch comedy videos that can get you to laugh, and just because laughter is like medicine. So just make sure that you get something that will make you excited. And then number four, meet people that also can make you laugh also. Meet friends that can also make you to laugh and come out of it. So basically stay out of isolation and stay out of negative people. Yeah, stay out of negative people. Just get someone who can be very positive and can be talking to you, because a depressed person is listening to something. A voice is speaking to your mind. So you need somebody that can also speak to your mind. And then get some music if possible. Like I do music a lot, so sometimes I sleep with music, I wake up with music, inspiring songs, motivational songs that can really, really speak to your mind. Just make sure that you get your mind occupied with the right thoughts and the right words.
Yes, interestingly, you have a book, you've written a book, Overcoming Depression.
Yes.
And tell us what is in this book.
Okay, overcoming depression. Number one, it has causes of depression, and then it goes to symptoms of depression, and then there's another chapter that talks about do believers get depressed,
Okay.
and how to come out of depression.
Okay.
So I think basically these are what it addresses.
Okay.
Yes.
What has been the response so far?
Honestly, it has been positive. It has been really positive. A lot of young people get to read the book, and I receive response like, "Man, I've been depressed, but after reading your book, I'm really, really encouraged. I'm really free. I'm happy
Okay.
that I read the book Overcoming Depression. Including some adults, some matured people. I get to receive calls. I get to like, this your book is so powerful, and it helps us out of the.
So if you want to get the book, how do we get it?
Okay, the book it's online. You could go to Okada books.com
Okay.
and Google and search for it, and then it's on Amazon.
Okay.
So they are Overcoming Depression on Amazon. So you just go to Amazon and type Overcoming Depression. That's for the soft copies.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. We
Aaron
appreciate it.
Daniels.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure.
Yeah, we'll appreciate you coming here.
Thank you.
So we've been talking to Mr. Aaron Daniels on depression, and you've heard him and you've heard what he has said. Well, depression is a disease, and get yourself inspired, go out, have fun, so that you can kill that disease. Well, the program continues after this break.
If you're just joining us, the program is still Good Morning Abuja, showing on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Now it's time for us to talk about giving back to the society. Just on the 21st of August this year, of course, the Inner Wheel Club of Garki empowered a lot of women with grinding stone and dryers, food stuff. I can go on and on and on. Right in the studio with us, for us to know the activities of the Inner Wheel Club of Garki, we have the brand new president of that club. Her name is Zainab Kaka Aliyu. Good morning, ma.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for having me.
Yes,
Good
the
morning, ma'am.
pleasure.
You're welcome.
The pleasure is ours. Okay, I just branded you, yes, which is a fact, that you are the brand new president of the Inner Wheel Club of Garki, And so, but before we talk about that, let's get to know a little about you. What we should know about you.
About me or about the club?
You first. Let's just know about you, then we'll talk about the club.
My name is Zainab Kaka Aliyu, as you said, a mother, and I work in addition to my charity organization, Inner Wheel Club of Gariki. So, and I've been married for over 30 years.
Really?
I'm blessed with some beautiful children. That is Zainab Aliyu.
Okay, so how did you find yourself in Inner Wheel?
It's a long story. I have this friend. We go to gym together where we dance. So one day, I think she has been observing me that this woman, when they have little things around, I respond with kindness or whatever. She now said, "Kai, there's a club called Inner Wheel, and she want me to come along." And when I go to Inner Wheel Club of Gariki, I realized that all the things I love doing, that is what they do. Because on my own, I've been empowering women, children, paying school fees, and so many other things on my own. So, and I felt that coming to this larger house, we'll be able to do a lot more. And the little we do will go a long way. That was how I became the member of Inner Wheel Club of Gariki. And ever since I joined, it's like, it's like you're giving me the word. I'm always very happy.
Okay.
Even my husband will say, this your inner, it's making you happy. So I want you to continue with the club. So when I came to tell him that this is the responsibility they are bestowing on me, he welcomed it with a great idea. That's okay, that's good. After all, you've been doing these little things, and we will support you.
Okay, now, for how long have you been in the club?
I've been there for like about 3 years now.
Okay, now you're the president. What are your responsibilities as a president of the Inner Wheel Club?
Inner Wheel Club is a collective responsibility. I'm just put as a leader.
Okay.
So whatever I do, we do it collectively.
Okay.
So in doing that, our responsibility for this 2021 year is to empower women, girl child education, women health. When we are talking of women health, we are talking of, try to eliminate or try to minimize gender-based violence.
Okay.
So we give education to women and children. You catch them young. And when we are doing in time of this gender thing, we go to a larger school to educate, because if you talk to women alone in that regard, you will not achieve. So you have to catch them young and let them know that yes, this is what is right for women. And also, when we are talking of gender equity, you empower a woman, she's empowered financially, she has power.
Okay.
And the equity is come in a family. If a man brings 5 naira and you bring 2 naira, you know that family will be united. So that is our aim, by empowering women and girl children. Also, we also reach out to communities. like in the SCT, we realize that
Yeah, I was even coming to that about your empowerment and drive, and talking about the 21st of August. We want to know more about that. We want to know details. We want to have the details.
what happened is I will just go around and fetch women. We just go around and look
Randomly.
randomly.
You don't have a specific
No,
place
no.
that you pick from.
We don't. What we just look at is how is this people faring.
Okay.
We look at how low somebody is in the society, because we find out that these days some people cannot even feed.
Yeah.
So we go out on our way to look for people that we can empower, and some of them have little trade already, because you can't just bring somebody and give them.
Yeah.
Some of them will just go and sell them. So what we do is go in, even inside market, you can see some women with tray on their head selling things that is like maybe about 1,000 naira a day. And at the end of the day, the gain might not be more than 20 naira or 100 naira. So those are the kind of women we target and empower.
So, what are the objectives of your club?
Objective, one of them is to foster international understanding
Among
and
women.
friendship among women, and also friendship is one of the objectives, because in Nina we see ourselves as sisters.
Okay.
We address ourselves sweet sisters.
What?
Sweet sisters.
Really?
So we see ourselves as, so in Nina we were friends, we were sisters, so we have common goal.
Okay. Talking about you being sweet sisters, what qualifies one to be a sweet sister?
Qualification is nothing. If you know you have extra and you
Extra?
have passion,
Extra what, man?
well, food, when you eat and you can remain something, you understand? If you can remain something,
Yeah.
you are, and you have heart of gold giving. It has nothing to be how rich you are or whatever. Some people have 10 naira, but out of that 10 naira, they can give out even 1 naira.
Okay.
Those are the kind of people we are looking for.
Okay, so your tenure is for a year.
Yes.
So, do you think you'll be able to achieve whatever you have in plan to the organization in 1 year?
I think we can achieve that. With God,
It's doable.
is doable. With God and support of everybody, including you, we'll be able to achieve that.
Okay, talking about support, where do you get your fundings from?
Individual
Okay.
people that are like-minded. When I'm talking of charity,
Yes.
those are the people we get that from, and we also tax ourselves
Okay.
within ourselves. Yes.
Any collaboration with the government? Because government is certainly doing the same thing.
For now, we don't have.
Any plans?
Maybe in the future.
Okay.
But because this is non-governmental organization,
Yeah.
so I don't know how we don't know. But if they want to come on board, they are welcome.
Okay, before we go now, let's give you this opportunity. You are a mother, and of course, the president of such a charity club, recognized all over the world. So it's a privilege for we having you in our studio one, and that we want to translate and use, your experience to talk to girls, especially young girls watching us right now. Advice?
My advice to young girls is that they should be focused. The focus that I'm talking about is that you should know yourself as a girl, and that nothing should deter you to achieve whatever goal you set for yourself to achieve. And also, most of us came from poor background, and we find ourselves where we are today because of focus, and we were not in a hurry to get to where we are. No, like I always tell young girls, my cousins, my nieces, when they are going to university, I advise them, as you are going now, whatever they give you, use it to eat food. Don't go and be buying clothes, this. I say the clothes you are earning to buy by following what you are not supposed to do. When you finish your school and you get employment, one salary will buy all those things you have. So that has always been my advice. Whatever their parents gives them, they should be contented with it. Contentment is the key. Don't look at others, because we've seen it all as an other people, that it is not rosy out there, and what you see is not what this present. Tomorrow may be something. It's something. What you are seeing at present is by tomorrow it will be I don't know. It might not be the same now. Like I have an uncle who used to say that God is not a partial God. God cannot look at the present son and repeat him a present. They will go to Ajogunle and find a child there and make him the president. So that's how it has always been operating in the whole world. Please, before I go, I want to talk about our International Inner Wheel brief.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
International Inner Wheel, like you have said, it's a women organization. It started around 1923 in the United Kingdom by the wife of Rotarians that followed their husband for the Rotarian Annual Conference. They now call themselves that they were so encouraged what the men do, because then there was no women were not part of Rotary Club. It was mainly men. It was of recent. So they decided in a restaurant in Manchester to start a club in line with Rotary. That's why you see that the inner, when we call it inner wheel, we are the wheel that propel the Rotary Club. Wow. So we work side by side to change the world. So ever since by 2023, they inaugurate the 24, they inaugurate Inner Wheel Club of Manchester. And during that time, there was no social service or welfare in the United Kingdom. And this woman has saw that the difference between the rich and the poor was so great. So that was how they started, and their aim was that anything they do is for women and girls. And that's how it has always been. So we have members, over 100,000 members in over more than 103 countries worldwide. So our president for this year, Mrs. Ebe Metina, chose Pink First as our 2021-22 Inner Way Year team.
Okay.
And that team is all about empowering women and girls.
Okay.
That is,
We appreciate the information. But before we let you go, what's on your neck?
That's what I wanted to say. I don't
Let us know what's
curious.
there.
that's the flag. This is the mantle of leadership of Inner Way.
Okay.
You can only be president to wear it.
Okay.
So since I'm the president of Inner Way Club, that's why you see it.
Thank you so much. We appreciate
so
your
much,
thoughts, sir.
Thank you
And
for
we've
coming.
learned a lot, very, very educative discussion, conversation with the President Inner Wheel Club of Garki. And of course, we are talking about Zainab, Kaka, Aliyu, and we learned a lot. The program is still Good Morning Abuja. We'll take this short break. We will be right back.
With this, we've come to the end of the program on Good Morning Abuja, and I know you've learned one or two things on depression. Well, you know what depression is.
Yes,
From
what he has
it was
saying. It got me thinking, asking myself, am I depressed or am I not? But I'm sure I'm not depressed.
No,
But the
you
thing
can't
is that
be depressed because you're a happy person.
yes, so
Yeah, you're a happy person.
Okay,
And I know depression doesn't set in a happy person. So you have to be unhappy for you to be depressed.
yes, you see, the thing about it is that people get depressed not knowing the stages, and it comes gradually, and before you know it, you're consumed.
Yeah.
So it was really thought provoking, and I wish you could lay your hands on the book and read it, because people are dying silently from this, should I call it disease? It
I
is
think
a
it's
disease.
a disease. And then the Zainab Aliyu, the president of Inawil Garki Club.
Yes.
Well, giving back to the society is one thing, because you don't even know who you are giving back to.
Okay, should I suggest that you join the club?
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind doing that. It's going to be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's all the time we have on today's episode of the program. Informative and, of course, entertaining. And like I always tell you, if you enjoyed today's episode and you found it interesting, you can watch it over and over again. You can go to our YouTube channel. It's simple. It's NTA5 Abuja. And you can reach us on our social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. And it's simple. NTA 5 Abuja.
My name is Aisha Kari Shari. Good morning.